Good morning. This is Mike McCabe. You're on Occupy Radio, and we have KBorn Rivers with us today. And KBorn's going to tell us a little bit what's going on in the Bronx. I mean, I read a report this morning that another 3.8 million people applied for unemployment. So things must be hard in the Bronx too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
In the Bronx, and the average person in the Bronx is like there's the families is really living, unless you live in Riverdale or Throgsneck, is really living paycheck for paycheck.
Yeah, like most Americans. Um, we
Yeah.
I feel that we get very little coverage from the Bronx. Can you
Uh,
give us some background on what life is like these days with this pandemic?
well, when you're dealing with the Bronx, it's not these days in the pandemic. We've been in the pandemic. I've been living in the Bronx since 1968. You got to figure we got the highest asthma rate. We got the highest HIV rate. We got the highest, everything in the Bronx is the highest for negativity and the wrong thing. So when you really look at it, out of 62 counties that's in New York State, the Bronx is rated number 62. That's why they call us 62.
Right.
But they don't call us 62 for nothing good. They call us 62 because we are rated the worst out of 62 counties. So even if you go to the little counties way upstate in the little county, the Bronx is rated worse than that too. We're number 62. And when you look at the politicians like the Bronx borough president, he always put that hashtag up, number 62. Like that's something to be proud of. And that's not nothing to be proud of. Because since he's been the Bronx borough president, he's been number 62. And there's only 62 counties in the state of New York. So we should be like, come on, we're supposed to be like number one or number two, like for good things. Not number 62. We the worst of the worst. So we never been getting proper health care. We surrounded by highways. The Bronx is in the middle of highways. You got the Cross Bronx Expressway. You got the Major Deegan. You got all these highways that's pulling nothing but pollution into the middle. So all our kids catch asthma and all the other things that come with, you know, unhealthy life living and things like that in a high risk area, in a high risk community.
Yeah.
And nothing have changed. Nothing. And I was born in 1968.
So there's no business in the Bronx to
There's no
help
who?
businesses.
Well,
Um,
it's like if they do, it's like, not really, man. You got the politicians out here, but you see them more on TV and you see them more at block parties and things like that, but you never see them in your community. If you go to the average person in the Bronx, and I'll take it, and you can take this survey on your own and try it on your own. You walk to the average person in the Bronx and you ask 10 of them who's their local assemblyman, they're not going up. Ask them who's their local councilman, they're not going up.
yeah.
Ask them what community board is in their community, they're not going to know because these people do not play a part in their lives because they only come out the one day or 2 days when it's time to get elected. And other than that, you never see them again. So they're never in your community to be a part of your community. I was born and raised in the Bronx since 1968. So I know the days when the politicians used to ride around in the trucks and they had their name and they used to blast the music and come and speak to the community. So everybody knew who the politicians was. They was like the local heroes in the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, yo, that's such, such, such. Yo, come outside. And all the little kids come out. Your mother ran out and the truck went by and you waved at them. They waved at you, came out, shook your hand. You felt like a hero just by knowing them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nowadays, these dudes walk through the block and you wouldn't know them from a can of paint.
Yeah, I totally understand because when I was a kid, I remember our congressman would walk around the street. Everybody knew them, and he knew the people. So yeah, yeah. Um, one
Yeah,
of the
we all knew
things,
these guys. You know what I'm saying? These guys was our heroes.
yeah, yeah. There are too few heroes today. Um,
Yeah,
tomorrow is
and then we
the
come to
first. Tomorrow's the first of the month,
yes.
and I know the last couple of days I've been talking to people about rent strikes, and I've been getting emails today complaining about the fact that I'm supporting rent strikes. And our intention is not to hurt landlords, but to get the government to move their butts to do something. $1,200 checks just ain't going to do it in New York. What do you feel about that?
I feel like this, that, most of the people, like I said, most of the people are living check by check. So, so some people actually already owe rent from before. So now you're getting deeper inside a thing where you're going to owe more rent. And now when you come back out, it's like, the landlord need to get paid too to keep the property running.
Mm.
But at the same token, you ain't got it, especially, you're unemployed. You ain't got it. You're already in the back rent. Now you got more back rent. It's going to be terrible, man. It's going to be a terrible situation. And I see that, there's only two things that come out of this. There's only so many shelters when all of this is over. And then we don't want the landlords to turn it back to like it was in the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And in the 70s, they was burning down the buildings.
Yeah, you were the only one.
Yeah, they was burning down the buildings. Yeah, they burning down buildings, because they got to get their money. So one way or another, all right, we're going to burn down the building and catch insurance money because nobody in the building is paying us. So how they going to pay their rent where they live at? You know what I'm saying? This going to trickle down. This all, it's like a snowball, like an avalanche is going down. It's just going to get bigger, 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 bigger as it keep on going because a snowball effect. Because you're not paying him. He can't pay the landlord where he owned his house at. That landlord can't pay another landlord that he owned his house at. Where's it going to end at?
Yeah.
So either the government gonna have to give this up, the people gonna have to give it up, or they're gonna find a way to get paid like they was back in the 70s.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the Bronx really suffered badly at that time. Yesterday I found out that there were 972 buildings on rent strikes, and that's just in New York City. But people who are complaining that are doing well, how can you promote rent strikes? Well, these people aren't going to be able to afford their rents anyway. So let's get together and force the politicians to do something.
Well, that's a big thing in the Bronx right there, man, as far as with the politicians, man. Like I said, people keep voting for these guys, but at the same token, they not doing nothing for us. So I don't know what type of system that they got going on. They throw one or two block parties a year, and that's it. And you don't see these guys for the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
You may hear somewhere, they're in Albany or they over here, but they're not actually right here. They're not doing nothing, man. I mean, this is with all the, if you notice or not, in the Bronx, people still is getting shot. Like 3 or 4 ladies got killed. They ran up inside the ladies' houses and killed them and tied them. This is 4 or 5 different occasions.
Wow.
People still going to check cash in places, robbing people. So it's like you still ain't even handling the violence and the gun violence and all that. So this is another step now. We got a pandemic, an outbreak going on. So if you ain't handling the first thing, how much confidence we gonna have with you handling this right here?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see nothing different. I don't see nothing happening. I don't see no extra police running nobody out the building. Everybody's still hanging out.
Yeah, you would.
Besides, the parks is closed, and that took it. Like most of the people in the community took it upon themselves to go in the park and take the rims down. We took that because we had basketball tournaments, so we did that ourselves because we seen people like hanging out in the park, so we got to take the rims down. But as far as like the politicians, all I don't see nothing. I don't see no police out here telling the kids to get off the street. I don't see nobody. People still hanging out in buildings. People still hanging out in corners. It's like there's nothing. There's nothing changed, man. So the infection and the disease is going to keep on passing from people to people to people to people until we get some type of control.
No. I went to the post office the other day. I was surprised to see how many people were wearing masks. So no one's wearing masks in the Bronx?
Nobody. Like you see, like, if you put it in there, you go outside, it's probably like 30% of the people wearing, like I even say like 25. Like when you go outside, everybody looking at you like, yo, why you got a mask on? That's the way you feel when you come outside. You come outside like you feel weird because people ain't got their masks on. Like everybody looking at you like you sick. And you like, I'm good. I hope I don't get sick, but what the hell is wrong with y'all? But y'all got a message that I ain't get? or memo that I didn't get because I didn't get it.
But
I didn't get it.
is it part of the?
I don't
Is
know if
part
you
of the
got it,
fact
but I
that
didn't get it.
people don't pay attention to the news, or is it just they don't care?
And it's sad because the people that actually that's out there that's doing that, they not the ones that's dying because, like they said, some people could get it and they don't show no symptoms, or the symptoms may not be that severe where it actually kill somebody. But then you going home and it's not like you live by yourself. If you live
Right.
by yourself, then that's on you. These people live with people. They go home and kill their elderly grandmothers, their elderly mothers, their elderly, siblings, and it's crazy, man. It's like you're a part of the system of taking everything down instead of just listening. It's the unknown, so nobody know. Scientists don't even know. So let's just relax and see what happened. We humans, man. We supposed to have that in us. Safety comes first. These supposed to be our instincts as natural human beings, and a lot of people are showing that that's not their natural instincts.
Right. It's supposed to be government's
It's
responsibility.
very confusing to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It's very confusing. See people just stand out there willing to put your life on the line like that, and to put others' life on the line with that at the same token, because you got other people that's, you coming home and hanging out with. You got a spouse, you got kids, you got neighbors.
You're a leader in your community. Uh, you've got an organization, is that right? That you work with mutual aid? Is that something?
Yes, I got an organization named I Am Our Community, and with I Am Our Community, we deal with we promote public safety through mental health awareness courses, we got parenthood classes, because we deal with mental health awareness because 1 out of 5 people worldwide suffer some type of mental health illness. And most people, as soon as they hear the word mental health illness, they automatically start bringing that stigma and start, oh, you crazy, or you this, that, and the third, So we the ones that break it down and let them know that everybody that have a mental health illness ain't crazy. How about that? Everybody that have a mental health illness don't, and then we reverse it back and be like, how about, the people that steal, and you a kleptomaniac, what medicine you need? You feel me? That's a mental health illness. Or you like to start fires and you're a pyromaniac. That's a mental health illness. Or you eat too much, you eat too little. That's a mental health illness. So a lot of people just automatically think when you hear mental health, it's somebody who is schizophrenic or somebody that's bipolar. So we break that down and try to get them to get their certificate and stuff like that so they can know what's going on too. And also we try to let people know that number one is anxiety. Right. And I just finished speaking to my sister.
Okay, it looks like we lost KBorn for a moment. Let's give him a couple of minutes to see whether he can come back. Here he's coming. Here we go. Okay, we lost you for a minute.
You got me back?
I got you back. Can you hear us? Okay, good.
Yeah. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, we in the house now, man, with this lockdown. So, everybody's on the internet. So, it'll be fading out. But like I said, the number one is anxiety. That's the number one, mental health illness, and I just finished speaking to my sister because she has diabetes. So she's at getting dialysis now. And she's all hype and all that. And, I had to explain. I said, calm down. I don't know, I feel jiggity. I said, everybody feel jiggity.
Yeah.
You're not the only one. You're not the only one. So, it's a natural feeling right now for everybody to have a little fear in them because it's the unknown. We don't know what's going on. But at the same token, you don't want to have too much fear because that breaks down your immune system. So you want to keep as much confidence as you could. You need your immune system as strong as it can be. And then we deal with our parenthood classes because this is the first time that I ever seen in my 51 years plus where it's a real disconnection.
Okay, we lost KBorn again. Okay, again, we'll hold on for a while. During this pandemic, everyone is stuck in the house. So we have to deal with a lot of people on the internet. So here we come again. Yeah, let's see. Okay, we got you back again.
Yeah, man. You know, a lot it just keep breaking. But yeah, you know, this is the first time I ever seen in my life where there's a big gap between the kids and the parents, and that bridge is broken with a between the older people and the youth. You know, and I feel like a lot of that happened from when in the crack era happened. Because
Hmm.
like when I was young, you know, our moms was our hero. And it's like somebody could, even a big person may even try to down you, myself, it may hit me or whatever, and I may let that go. But if they said something about my mother, you know, that was a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
But then when the crack in the era came in and stuff like that, you had parents that was stealing from their kids and taking from their kids and running on the street. And it broke a bridge right there where the kids didn't trust their own mothers and parents. So now these kids is teenagers. These kids is 21 and 22 years old. And the last person that they trust is adults.
Oh man,
And it's
that's bad.
crazy and it's a mixed understanding. And this is in all races. This is not only in the black community, this is in every community, Italian community, the Jewish community, where
Right.
it's a bridge that's broke between the youth and the elderly people, man, or you know, the adults, man. You even see people that, you know, back in the days, you know, we used to help an old lady across the street. You watch on TV now, you see somebody beating up an old lady,
Yeah, I can't
chopping up an
believe
old
it.
lady, killing an old lady. You like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
It's a whole different story. You know, those were things that you just did not do. Like, you don't disrespect an old lady, man, you know? And you see people beating up the elderly men, robbing them, choking them on the elevator. And this is in all neighborhoods, all races, all, it's like a total lack of communication between
and
the
there's
youth.
no moral code any longer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
it just,
is that something that you try to teach in your classes?
yeah. And that's why we
Moral
have the
responsibility.
programs. We have the programs and we try to invite everybody there, you know, the adults and the youth, and try to get them all in the same room and try to,
Mhm.
you know, let them see that we all go through the same things, man. You know, we all human beings. So we all go through the same thing. And then we got the anti-violence unit. And the anti-violence unit is like, say if somebody gets shot, killed, assaulted in our community, we have zero to do with the police. The only time we deal with the police is with community affairs. Then that's for when the kids could have basketball tournaments, or we could bring out health events where, you know, the ladies could get their breast chest checked for breast cancer, or you get your
Mhm.
blood pressure checked, or things like that. Then we'll deal with community affairs. But as far as with the anti-violence unit, when somebody gets shot or killed or harmed in our community, or something took from them, we use our street credibility between the people that we know. You know, I was born and raised in the Bronx since 1968. So we use that street credibility to try to find out what happened to who and why it happened to them. And then we
Right.
try to get both sides together so that, you know, don't be no type of retaliation. And by doing this, we noticed that even our technique has been more effective than even the police. Because it's been situations where 3 or 4 or 5 people have been getting killed between two groups. And the police literally ask us to get involved. And we get
Hmm.
involved and speak to both sides, and somehow, some way, 3 or 4 years of back and forth ends that day, which
Yeah.
saves the lives of the people that was involved, and also saves the lives of the innocent people, because none of these dudes ain't no professional shooters. So they just shooting all the way across the street, and
Mhm.
anybody can get shot in the mix of that. And then at the end of the day, bullets don't got no names either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got a reckless person with a gun shooting bullets that have no name in the middle of a city that's crowded with people at all times. That equals up to disaster.
Yeah. You run a cop watch
You know?
program too?
Huh?
You run a cop watch program as well? Cop watch?
Yeah, then we got another program. We got another program called Never Be Caged. And Never Be Caged is where we take the I'm down with a you have Shaniqua Charles, who have Miss Abby kids,
Hmm.
and then you have another guy named William Evans. And William Evans have an organization called Neighborhood Benches. So we got Miss Abby kids. She deal with the youth in the community and like teaching them how to eat and do exercise, homeschooling and things to that extent. And then you had Will, who he got Neighborhood Benches, and Neighborhood Benches is in Nitra. So he deal with the Nitra housing and the things that they have to go through inside there, you know.
Hmm.
with the lack of space for the kids to even have nitro rents out the space. So the kids that actually live there have no space to come outside and hang out or chill out. So they end up running around. And then the police say they can't hang in front of the building. So you put them in a lose-lose situation, and with all the stuff that they don't take care of nitro, the elevator's always broke and somebody's always getting harmed or hurt or killed in there. And it's just outrageous. So he work on that. And then I work with the kids in the community with the gangs, the gang violence, the mental health awareness. So we all got together, being that we on 3 different levels with things, and put it together. And we made one organization called called Never Be Caged. And with Never Be Caged, we go to universities like Lehman, we go to Fordham University, we go to John Jay, and we go to Columbia. And then we get the kids from there to tutor kids that's in junior high school and in the high risk, low or middle income areas, and they tutor them. So by the time they get to high school and they want to get accepted in them high schools that it costs $80,000, $70,000 a year, our families and our community, we don't really have that money to pay, $360,000 and stuff like that, 300 and plus for 4 years of education for our kids. But would Never Be Caged, these kids would be ready to, on academic wise, to take the test and still get approved and go to them schools and still get the same education without the money they use. They have to use their brain. We ain't got the money, so you got to use the next best thing you got. That's your brain, put it to work. So we plan them from to get to high school, they be, ready to take them tests and get accepted. And then we got schools like Hotchkiss, that's in Connecticut. And Hotchkiss, Connecticut is a great school. It costs about $80,000 a year to go there. But they're willing, and we worked with them that if our kids could pass the test, they will accept them without any money. You know what I'm saying? Just on their academic skills. So now it's up to them to get in there.
Yeah, education is the best foundation for the future, and why the government doesn't allow more free colleges. And I mean, that's something that Bernie Sanders was trying to push free education. I mean, I can't think of a better way of investing in your future than free education. But what you're doing is good.
I always say that all kids should be educated equal.
Right, exactly.
There's no price on education. Is none of that, and that's what they put it in. They individualize the kids, and then as the kids grow up, they wonder why these kids have hate within them, and y'all creating racism, the system. You creating this hate between each other, because you separating the kids and letting them go. If you go inside a park when you're young, when the kids is babies and you let them go, they all run and hug each other. They're not looking at no color. They're not looking at none of that. They just like, oh, that's my friend. They know from hanging out in the park with them. When they go, they give each other a big hug and they holding hands and they having a good time.
Right.
And to the adults, and poisoning their minds. Oh, well, this the black, white, and this that issue, and this to that. Other than for that, all kids is born innocent, man. Without any sins and without anything until they get corrupt.
Yeah, exactly.
By people in the system.
Notions in their head. Yeah. But so I'd like to keep in touch with you so we get a better view of what's going on in the Bronx. You think we can do this from time to time? And you can let us know what you're doing in your programs and see whether there are any people out there that might want to help.
Yeah, we need as much help as we could get, man. It's like, that's how, it's like, we got to come out, man. It's information, and it's the lack of information that's really what's going on, man. And in the Bronx, we have a lack of information because you really have nobody that's coming out here bringing information, man. When was the last time that a politician you seen came out and just said, yo, I'm on live? All right now they got all the opportunity in the world. Me and you on live. Why they can't get on live right now and be like, well, this is what I'm saying to my community, being that we not all here. I need y'all to stay strong. I need y'all to do this. This is what I need to do because they're not leaders. And if they get on their page, the only people that's gonna get on their page is their friends, not the community. You know, why you have a community room and you have your room? Why you don't have a community room? Why every individual politician? Why you don't have a community room where even though people may not be able to see you face to face or touch you, but they know that this is 2020 and they should be able to go on there and you should be able to respond on that. You know, it may take you 30 minutes to respond to 100 messages on your thing. You know, you ain't got to say too much, but just the thought that people know that your connection, you can just put a like and hit it. And people be like, all right, he's connected to me. He heard me.
Yeah.
You know,
Too
and
many
it's not even none of that.
Yeah, but too many times you leave messages on politicians' voicemail where there's no room to leave messages, which happens quite often. And that's annoying. Uh, but yeah, the politicians need to open their offices, open their space to allow people to come in and talk to them. And they should be out on the street when they're not in hearings or in the legislation. So, so
And
we're in
and that's
total
never
war.
happened.
Yeah.
That's never happening. When you even look at them, you know, most of these guys be in Albany all the time. And if you really take a survey and being that, you know, you have the ability, you know, you should do it. Take a survey and see how much time they actually spend in their community. The community that they got elected to.
Yeah.
Try to ask that survey, try to start a survey up like that within the community and get the community to see if they know them. And you will be surprised that nobody know these guys, man.
I live a block from
Nobody.
the Red. I live a block from the Red Hook projects, and I have a lot of friends over there, and they complain that they don't see their politicians except for every 4 years. So I know
They
exactly what
never
you're talking
seen
about.
them, man. And that's a shame. Yo, look,
Yeah.
we had when I was with Peace December, and I'm still with Peace December, but when we had our building was on Parkchester, around Parkchester on Westchester Avenue, right? So we used to have a monthly meetings all the time. But being I'm not from around there, I don't really know who's like local. So one day I'm going across the street because I needed some paper because I had the summer youth with me. So I had the summer youth. So I needed some papers to get some flyers. So I go across the street to get some papers. I mean, literally across the street where we have our monthly meetings that everybody come to. Even the New York Times and all that be there. I'm walking across the street to go get some paper. I looked. It was a politician right there. I think his name was Conjure or something. Yo, I could not believe my eyes, man. I knocked on the door. I went there. I said, yo, y'all don't know that we be right there doing all the stuff right there, bringing the whole community, you know what I'm saying? Even the Jewish people, the Muslims, everybody
Mhm.
be together right there. Oh, yo, I could not believe it because this was like after 2 years we was there. You know what I'm saying? I could not believe it, man. That I never seen them and they never went in there. I could not believe it. So I went automatically. As soon as I got across the street, I asked Musa. I said, Musa, I thought that you invite everybody from the community, even the guys from the Domino's and all that be there. Everybody come, the barber shop, everybody. He said, yo, I invited them every time, man, for all these years, but they never show up. But they're, you know,
Yeah.
I could not believe it. This is the whole community. This is a town hall meeting right here. And you are the elected leader of this community. You're supposed to be here.
Yeah. I agree.
Nah,
Yeah.
but this is not that don't interest them. Because now they know how to use their system where they could get their own friends and a whole them people to support them. So they don't need the community. I don't need to know 100 of y'all if only 30 of y'all vote and 25 of y'all is my friends.
Hmm.
What I
Yeah.
need to know the rest of y'all for? Y'all
Sure.
ain't gonna vote.
Yeah. So for a
Yeah.
short time, I lived in Union City in New Jersey, and our mayor every month came to our building. I lived in a maybe a 5-story building, and every month the mayor would come and meet with the people in the building. We'd meet in the lobby, and
Look,
I thought that was great. You know,
yeah, that is great because regardless, you know, even just him coming is enough. Even if you wasn't there and you didn't get your word out, you left it with somebody else in the building. Yo, man, you know, when the mayor come this month, let them know that, you know, such, I ain't gonna be here. Don't worry,
yeah,
but I got you. I'm gonna let them know. It may not be no miracle change, but the fact that you know he's gonna come here next month again, you know some change gonna happen.
yeah. And
It may take time. We ain't expecting no miracles, but if he took the time to come here He's taking the time to make sure that y'all gonna be all right. And that's
Yeah.
what count, man. You know, these are the people that we elected. These are the people that we think supposed to make sure our kids is all right, make sure our community all right, make sure that we safe. You know what I'm saying? You get off the train and you walk into your block, you paying rent $1,500, but you get hit in the head with something and get robbed. Like, where's the safety at for this, man? You know, where's my tax money going at? Where's the community? You know, they got the game like so mixed up with this system, man. You know, they're going, all right, I'm gonna give you another example. Say they go into a community right now and they arrest 99 drug dealers and gangbangers, right? They get on the news and they brag about this. Yo, we just made the biggest arrest in New York City. We arrested 99 fentanyl sellers, and they was involved in this gang and that gang, and they did this shooting and they did that. And the whole community come outside and cheer. Good job, good job, good job. And then they leave. You did a good job, but you did a bad job. You took the 99 criminals off the block, but you left 99 single mothers.
Yeah.
Who all got one or two kids. So you left 100 and something kids with no father. You don't know if they went through trauma when y'all kicked down their door. You don't know if the mother gonna be able to pay the rent next month. You don't know nothing. And you didn't leave nothing behind to make sure that this happened. All right, y'all, these dudes going to jail for y'all crimes. Y'all out of here. But we are the government, or we are the NYPD, or we the mayor. So we got enough resources that after we take these dudes, we're going to make sure that we leave this for the kids for the trauma. We're going to leave this because eventually these kids going to grow up to be teenagers. And now they all in there with no father, and now they the new era of running wild. So you got a chance to nip both of this in the bud with one thing. When you take, you give back. You just don't take. You know, if you look at the homeless rate for females that's in shelter is an inch thinner than the same rate as males that's incarcerated. Because all them females is homeless because you left no type of nothing, man. You know, you just come to take and destroy, and you say you saving, but if you were saving, you should have took the criminals, but you should have left something for the innocent people, and especially the kids. Who went through trauma.
Enough social workers out there working with the people. I mean, there's so much. Look at the homeless people that we have in the city. It's incredible. We have over 23,000 children that go to school every day from a shelter.
Yeah. And you talking about a shelter. Now we're going to even go further than that. The reason everybody voted for de Blasio was because he said he was going to, you know, like not everybody, but the majority of the people, because his pitch was he was going to change the homeless rate. That was his pitch.
Yeah,
his pitch in main line was your homeless rate going to change, and everybody jumped on it. Well, he's going to change the homeless. Man, it got worse. If you go on the train, if you go on a New York train at anywhere from 2 o'clock in the morning to about 7:30 in the morning, you would think you was in 1972. It's bag people again. Remember they had the bag ladies and the bag men, and then those disappeared. It's bag people back again. It's people laying in the train station in cardboard boxes. The train is, you got to sit in the front car, or you got to sit in the car with the middle conductor at. Other than that, you were 1975, 1973, 76 and all that, if you get back there. Literally. And then imagine if that's like that. And imagine right now with the coronavirus pandemic going on. And they still on a train like this. Yeah. What is happening?
I was just going to say,
what is the mayor doing? What is the governor doing? What is the commission? What is the commissioner and the police doing? What are you doing? What is the head person, administrator in the homeless thing doing? What are you doing? Get in the train stations. Get these people out the train station. Help them. Bring them to shelters. You got to disinfect the train. You got a job. You coming to work. They say you're a essential worker. I'm an essential worker. All right, cool. I'm going to work. Now I'm getting there, essential worker, but I get infected because of 17 homeless people laying in the train station that's all sick that y'all totally ignoring. They have the potential to keep the sickness going from there to there to there to there to there to there. Then they walking through the train station, and it's not their fault that they have mental health illnesses. It's not their fault that they're homeless. It's the people that's collecting these billions of dollars saying that they're going to take care of the mentally ill and saying that they're going to take care, like Thrive NYC is one of them.
Yeah.
They took a whole bunch of money, almost $1 billion and some dollars. I don't see Thrive NYC nowhere, not even a sticker.
Yeah. There's a concept called communalism, which means that the people in the community manage themselves. And I feel, and you're one of those people that are actually doing it. You get people together to manage their own community and give
Yeah.
these people more control and more help in solving a lot of the issues that neighborhoods are having.
See, we got that together. We can solve, but the whole thing is, with all that comes funding too. You know what I'm saying? And our main thing is that we need a space. If we could get a space in our community, we could do miracles. It's a guy named Jose Gonzalez. He's the one that ran over the lady with the EMT truck. He lived on my block. That guy talked to me every day. If I went to the mayor office and told the mayor about him personally before this happened. I went to Sister Sarah Shahid that worked in the mayor office and told her, this guy is a bomb waiting to happen, man. I got my program. I need y'all to fund me. I need space where he can sit and talk to me. He could do this. And she was like, yeah. And a couple of months later, this dude went and stole the ETM truck and ran somebody over and killed him. And then to today, he in court and he's pleading that he's insane. And everybody is arguing, saying that, oh no, he's playing it off. Why don't the mayor step up and say, no, I knew this man had problems because KBorn from my community told me about him 3-4 months before he committed this act.
Yeah.
That's not the first one. I also went to them with another guy. His name is Kevin Darden. I said, yo, man, Kevin keep coming to me. He has a problem, man. I need help, man. Won't y'all help me help him? I'm taking this to the mayor office, Drive NYC. They did nothing. Kevin ended up walking to the train station on 167th Street. He asked the Asian guy, could he have $1? The guy was going to get some seafood in Canal Street with his wife. It was about 7 o'clock in the morning. The Asian guy said, I don't have $1. Kevin pushed this guy in front of the train. And the guy died. The guy died, man. You know what I'm saying? I also had to ask them about another guy around my block named Jamel. I said, yo, man, Jamel Jordan, man, he got a problem, man. The brother keep coming to me, has a problem. They didn't help me. I said, yo, man, would y'all help me? They didn't help me. This guy walks down the block. He goes in the building. There's another African descended guy that lived around our block that was a cab driver. Don't mess with nobody, good dude. Jordan walks up to him and asks the guy, yo, you want a body box? The guy said, nah, man. The only reason the guy went back in the building, he was leaving for work. But he left his keys in his house. And he was like, man, so he went back in his house to get his keys. And he bumped into this clown that lived in our building. And Jordan wanted to body box him. The guy was like, nah, man, I'm grown, man. I'm going to work. I don't do none of that. Well, anyway, Jordan went with him with his mental health illness, didn't get no help. He beat the guy to death. The guy died. So just between them 3 people that I just said, the lady that got ran over by the truck, she had 5 kids. The African guy who got beat up in the building and killed by Jordan had 7 kids. The guy that Kevin pushed in front of the train had 3 kids.
Yeah. All they had to do was to pick them up and put
them
in.
About 15 kids. Yeah, we can talk about 15 kids right now that's walking around with a parent that's dead behind somebody that had a mental health illness, but the mayor and everybody had warning about these people beforehand, but didn't want to help the people that was trying to help them, because them dudes would have been sitting in the office with me, man. They wouldn't have been locked up, and them 3 people would have been alive. I can guarantee you that. They'd have been sitting right in the office with me.
But that's also something that your city council person should have been handling as well. I mean, in the district.
No. Listen. Well, I'm gonna tell you this too. I personally went in Fernando Cabrera's office and told him about these 3 people also. He know them.
Yeah.
I personally told his staff member, Mr. Gregory, forgot his last name, about them. He know them. I personally went to Assemblyman Victor Pachado. He know them. But now none of them ain't coming out and saying that before any of these, all 3 of us could have saved these 3 people's lives, man. The mayor office could have saved their life. Sister Sarah Shahid that living there and that worked with them could have saved them. Garcia that worked in the mayor office could have saved them. Victor Pachado could have saved them. Fernando Cabrera had the whole time to save them, and none of them stepped up and took no moves to save somebody. And don't forget, this is their district.
Yeah.
And none of them took a move, and these three people went on and committed acts of crime. And not only that, after that, another kid named Anthony ran inside the police truck and killed the lady on 183rd inside on my block. So this is a continuing thing that's happening to last week. Last week, if you know, looked on the news, it was a police officer that got punched in the face about 3-4 times. That's right on my block. That's the same place I've been begging them for help for.
Mm-hmm.
That's right that's right there. That's right where I wanted to open up my shop at. That would not have happened in front of my shop. Because the community respect me.
Yeah,
the community respect me. Yeah, the community respect me. They came in and be like, yo, this case spot, man. And yo, boom, boom. And that wouldn't have happened. The police wouldn't have got punched in the face. The guy wouldn't have got stun gun. None of that would have happened. Yeah. But they just don't want to, I don't know what I got the ability to stop so many things and so much stuff. And they notice. They keep giving me proclamations and certificates and all this junk that I don't want. I want a space so I can save people's lives. I don't want a plaque to put on the wall. I don't want somebody to say, oh yeah, KBorn's a hero. No, I'm not a hero. I want to save somebody's life. And I want them to be able to walk in a space where I'm at. Like they can feel comfortable and walk up to me like, yo, okay, what's going on? And hey, come on, man, you're welcome. Everybody. That's why my program is I Am My Community. That's why they go for anybody's welcome here. Old, young, white, black, LBGT, hip hop, reggae. I don't care what you are. That's your thing. When you come in here in peace. You need some advice, you need some help. We here for that. Each one teach one. Each one don't beat one here. Each one you want to beat one, you take that downtown somewhere else. Right here, this is about peace, man. And and they don't want to put the support there. So but at the same token, I see if they wasn't giving me the support, but they was actually doing the work. Why is these people still getting killed? Why is the police still getting punched in the face and assaulted? Because that means that y'all not doing it, but y'all also at the same time, you're not allowing me to do it. You're not giving me the support to do it. If you're not going to do it, all right, I respect that. All right, fund me and give me the support and let me do it. I'll do it. That's why they got the army. Everybody don't go to the army and put their life on the line. But we respect the ones that do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But you need some support. Do you have a fundraiser, or do you have any way of getting?
Yeah, I got a fundraiser going on now but really just to give out packages to the homeless and to the people that be on really Jerome Avenue, Bronx, the LBGT community who they totally forgot about, and all the stores closed over there. And most of them, a majority of them already have past illnesses like either HIV or hepatitis and stuff like that. So they're prone to catch the coronavirus. So they should be right there with the hospital and the clinics at and giving them a couple of gloves and some hand sanitizers and stuff like that to try to help them make it so they not only for them to save themselves so that they don't spread it nowhere else. And what they forgetting is that they're just neglecting them, like, oh, we don't care about them. But they forgetting the fact that these people also have the ability to spread it to you.
Right.
So it's important that we help everybody. Yeah. And that's not what's happening, man. It's not. And it's unfair and it's messed up, man. And for people to be getting elected and saying that they're leaders of the community, and what community are you the leader of? Because the community consists of everybody. It don't only consist of people of your race or your creed or your age or your vibe. It consists of everybody, even the people that you may not have a personal relationship with. You don't gotta like them. They still live in a community. They need help. You need to help them if you're a helper. Yeah. It's not about personal.
Are there any people in the community that you would support if they wanted to run for political office?
Well, I would support Shaniqua Charles. Shaniqua Charles is going against Jose Rivera. And Jose Rivera is assemblyman. He's a good friend of mine too, but at the same token, I don't see him doing nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's been there for about 30 years and love him to death, but you ain't doing nothing. I'm seeing the kids, they still continuing to die. The feds just went on the block. Put it this way, between the last 3 years on the district where he where Jose Rivera is at, it must have been about, I give it about 200 young kids, teenagers, and all that that's locked up in the federal system right now, with a majority of them never coming home again. That's doing life and all that in jail.
Yeah. What a waste.
99 at a time, 40 at a time. Why you can't open up programs for these kids to get an education? Why you can't open up a job training program? Why you can't open up a skill, a place for them to get skills? Why you can't open up a job place to refer them, or refer them to jobs? But you damn sure got some police to take them to jail for life.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not the way life is supposed to be.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a domino effect, because right now I'm gonna give you another survey. I want you to go and do this too, because y'all got the ability. I want you to go and do a survey and see what politician is connected to a community center. None.
Yeah. Yeah.
How could you be a part of the community and part of the kids and you ain't a part of that community center? That community center is supposed to have your name on it, man. That community center, when you walk by there, everybody's like, ooh, you're supposed to be at the tournament. You're supposed to be at the come through, yeah. Because that's how the tournament's gonna stay safe. Ain't nobody gonna shoot up the tournament if they know that you coming through and you the one that made the tournament. Yo, what's up, y'all? Hey, yo, such gonna be here, man. That's the man, yo. Yo, man, yeah, man, he the one who put the rims up. And there's little things to get the community. It's like it's the thought they count.
Right.
The thought. Yo, man, we needed that net. He came through with the net, man. Yo, that's the councilman right there. Man, that ain't no councilman. Man, that's the councilman sitting right there. Man, the councilman don't never sit in nobody's neighborhood. Man, that's our councilman. Let me introduce you to him.
Yeah.
You know how big that is, man?
Yeah.
It only take you 10 minutes to go there. Do you know how big that is, man? Brothers want to take pictures with you. The people want, now they know, man, that's the councilman. I never met a councilman in my life. Man, you're not a part of the community.
Yeah.
You're just collecting from the community, and you're getting paid from the community, and you showboating in the community, but you can't get the community to come out there and say they know you. Like you see when they go to a party, when you see Bruce Springsteen on stage, he come out, boom, and everybody go, Bruce. They know Bruce. When you go up there, they don't know you.
And that's pathetic, really. So
yeah.
But anyway,
it really is. So
yeah, I'm glad you were able to spend some time with us. And again, I'd like to reconnect with you at a later date to see what's going on there and see what's going on with your programs.
Yes, and it was great speaking to y'all too, especially to get a chance to speak out. Let me put one more thing out there too. I've been getting a lot of calls from the females that's in the federal penitentiaries, and it's sad, with this coronavirus, and they got coronavirus. People who don't have it, they got them living in the kitchen now. 30, 40 people sleeping on cots.
Yeah.
I get calls from people on Rikers Island, and it's the same thing. They live in 40 people, 60 people to a dorm, even though they tell you on the news that it's only 15. I'm telling you from the people that I speak to every day, daily, that is 40, 50 people still in a dorm. They write 2-3 inches from people that they know have the coronavirus, because you see them sick right there and the change in them. And they still going to this would surprise me. I couldn't believe my ears. They still going to the mess hall in Rikers Island. I said, you still going to the mess hall? They still going to the kitchen to eat.
Yeah.
And they go in there, and if you refuse to go to the kitchen, because you're like, I'm not going to the kitchen, man, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to get sick of this, that, there. Because don't forget, you ain't got no mask. They give you a fine for $25. So that means whatever money you got inside your commissary that your family sent you, they automatically gonna take $25 off that. So you ain't gonna be, if you refuse to go to the kitchen to eat, you can't buy no commissary to eat because they took your money. So you got no choice but to go to the kitchen, because you got to eat at the end of the day. That's one of the things for survival. That's not making it. And then when they go in the kitchen, it's like you go inside you go in the mess hall, there's somebody that's sitting there. So he's already sitting there, and then after they leave, y'all 40 go in, but you sitting in the same silhouette that the last person was at. So, even if he coughed or sneezed, it ain't like they came and disinfect the spot before you made that, that transition from them to you. So that's just like a big thing that's about to pop off. And
that's one thing that we should ask the mayor. What was the initial plan to protect those people? It probably wasn't.
None.
Yeah.
If it was a plan, let me tell you something. A plan would have come with a precaution kit. They would at least have gloves, alcohol, bleach, mass. We talking about the minor things. When you get in the plan, before you can start a plan, we start getting the big things. We got to be like, we building the building. Before we could do anything, we got to get some dirt and some cement for the foundation before we start talking about the fancy windows and we're going to put in the marble floors and all that. We can't put none of that until we put some dirt, water, and concrete. You got to lay the foundation. They didn't have no plan because y'all don't even have bleach. You don't have alcohol. You don't have gloves, regular gloves. You don't have nothing. So that means you had no plan. Because that's the minor part. That's, and nothing.
And if nothing else, let's put the prisoners aside for a minute. What about the guards and their unions? You would think that the unions would say, hey, protect our employees. But apparently they didn't do anything either. So.
The guards is in the same position. Yeah. This was once I have to say, I feel sorry for the correction officers. The correction officers is in the same position as the inmates. It's no plan. If the man had if they don't got no gloves and no bleach, and don't forget the inmates is in here every morning in every institution. That's an institution. They have a meeting in the morning. Every precinct have a meeting every row. Mm-hmm. This is mandatory. Y'all didn't have that place disinfected, so all of y'all caught it from the beginning.
Yeah.
So they actually in a worse predicament than the inmate, because like I said, the inmate could refuse and say, I'm not going there. It's going to cost him money, $25. He may not eat and be hurting, but the CO got to go to that meeting when he's coming to shift. He got to go to the first shift meeting to hear that. I got to go there. The captain told me to come. So he's in a real, and then he go right in there and 7 of them get sick. The COs is dying at a high rate. And then in return, they're going inside and bringing it to the inmates, because the inmates ain't going home. The inmates ain't going to no parties last night. So how did coronavirus coming from them? They ain't moved in years. It's you. It's you that's coming in here bringing it. So we all know the source of it. The source of it is the outside, bringing it to the people inside.
Are they still letting the prisoners' families come to see them?
No. Okay. That been over. The visits is over. You're supposed to be able to do a video like this.
Yeah.
But now, like I said, that they running everybody is dipping and dodging. They trying to hide the people from here. And the people's in the kitchen inside the federal prison in Danbury. So they ain't got none of that. And so now they just put a phone in there yesterday. But it's 40 of them to one phone in the kitchen. So if y'all in the kitchen, because everybody else is infected, what's next? Where y'all gonna be at? In the guard tower?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they gotta feed people out the kitchen. So you know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on here? Let these people go. There's nothing else. Like, what's the next thing you're gonna do? Either you're gonna take them out because they're in the kitchen. So from the kitchen, either they're going in the guard tower or y'all gonna build a tent outside. Because you can't bring them back in there.
What's the cost to put another phone or put a bunch of phones in there?
You know, really, what's the cost of just letting them go? Because, you know what I'm saying, you got to figure that these people have underneath a year or two. None of them, this is not violent killers. They let out 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine out, the rapper guy, he's supposed to be doing 47 years.
Wow.
He was involved in all type of gang, murders, shooting, killing, racketeering, and y'all let him out. So why these girls is sitting up in Danbury living in the kitchen, and they ain't killed nobody. You know what I'm saying? They ain't killed nobody. They ain't in no gang. They ain't did none of that, but they did commit a crime. But right now, I mean, under the rule, what is it? The 14th Amendment, where it says you're supposed to protect all citizens the same.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what is this? You're not protecting them the same. This is not about law or crime. This is about life, death. Inhumane treatment. If you allow them to sit there, they could get sick and die. That is not the sentence that the judge gave them. The judge penalized them and told them they have to do jail time, not death time, but the judge would have told them and sentenced them to death row.
Yeah, something we really need to sit down in communities and address this, where a lot of people end up in jail that should be going to a program outside instead of going into prison.
I've been saying this for years too, man. I say that, you know, every precinct should have a professional psychiatrist there. And when a person come get arrested, before you decide, after the police come and they question them and they know what they got them for, you send a psychiatrist in there. And then the psychiatrist sit down and speak with these people. And the psychiatrist decide if this person should be incarcerated or should this person be medicated.
Yeah.
And they don't do that. They think everybody should be incarcerated. Everybody shouldn't be incarcerated because this person that need to be medicated, by you sending him to be incarcerated, is not helping him. Because when he finished this, and while he in there, he ain't getting no medication. So when he come out, it's likely for him to commit the same crime, like a revolving door, because he didn't learn nothing. But if you just sent him to get medicated, it's a good possibility that he never in his life would get incarcerated, because now oh man, damn, I didn't even know I was bugging out like that, or slipping or falling off like that, because I wasn't taking my meds, but now I'm back on my thing. And I know my problem. My problem was that was happening because I wasn't taking my meds, or I was taking too many meds, or I need to slow down my meds, or y'all need to change my meds. But I don't need to be in jail where they're giving you no meds, and you get them no medication in jail. So I'm just in here. I don't know the crime because you're not medicating me to bring me back to my senses where I can understand why I'm even in here. You know what I'm saying? So, and you're supposed to be, if you only can penalize somebody if they're aware of their crime.
It's easier just to put somebody in jail and not work out the programs. That's why they do it. They don't care about the people. Just get them off the streets. That's all they want to do. So,
it's a less of a job. If I got to go and I just arrest Harry and bring Harry to point A, and then he go to Central. Harry go from right from the precinct to Central Booking to Rikers Island, and then they give him a court date for 3 months. That's the end of Harry in the 3-move process.
Right, and if he doesn't have any money to pay,
a 4-move process. He arrested him, brought him to the precinct. From the precinct, they brought him to Central Booking. From Central Booking, the judge, the court, Central Booking and all that. The judge gave him $1 million bail, and then he went to Rikers Island, or the boat, or the Tombs. 4 moves, end of the game. But if you're trying to help somebody, you got to stand there. You got to find out the problem. Then you got to try to connect to the resources. Maybe 7 problems he got. You may be homeless, have a mental health illness, or drug addiction, family problems. And now I got to find all these outlets to find him to go somewhere. These people got to get involved. I got to go and do this. Nobody want to do their job, man. They want the easy way out.
Yeah.
That's too much work for them right there to actually help you. I got to make too many phone calls. I got to stay here too many hours, man, even though they're getting paid for that. And they took an oath, a volunteer oath to do this. They don't produce that oath. And as long as we don't keep pressure them and make them and hold them accountable for it, they're going to keep on doing what they've been doing. Nothing.
Again, that's why I say that communities have to take control of their community, put programs together, insist on certain programs for the government to put in place. The only way we can do it is with people like you to take control of the situation. So again, I want to thank you for joining us. And again, I want you to come back and we'll talk some more about what's going on in your community.
Okay, when you get a chance, you finish up, you edit what you got to do, send me a link too, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all stay safe. Peace. Stay home.
Have a good one. Take care. Thank you.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
You too. Thank you.